Hello to all the viewers out at Cadre.org. Here's my first interview of the event, and it's with a very disappointed Shox Papillon. Is that right? And I mean, you had a very tough break. I think individually, you had the highest rating of all the players that played in the first group stage, and you went out still. So that's really disappointing for you. But I don't really want to talk about the games itself. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I want to talk a little bit about the scene differences that you've been making, and I want to start back when you lost Scream, because I think that was a big loss, and it was a kind of weird situation because. Initially, you said he was leaving, there was a statement, and then Very Games denied everything categorically, so everyone thought Scream is maybe not leaving, and then he left after all. Can you maybe say a little bit about how this worked behind the scenes, because it looked really weird from the outside?
Yeah, Scream is just here, so it's funny. It was after our last plan in Kiev. It just came the day after, and said to us, I go Very Games. So we tried an afternoon to speak with him and to say to him it was better to stay with us, but he just wanna go to Very Games. So we knew it. Then there was the news, and they denied it because there was a bad information, because we thought that NBK will be replaced, and we didn't know about RPK. So it was the only mistake in the news, but the fact is Scream will join Very Games, it's true.
So there was no confusion, basically. It was not a troll, because people say, like, Richard is trolling us. They're all thinking you're making a joke, but it was clear-cut from the very first moment. And you replaced him with Majere, and I think Majere has been playing really well since replacing Stream. It's large boots to fill, but he's doing a really good job. And I want to ask you first of all, how did you end up with Majere? And secondly, how have you changed your game style? Because Scream is I think a really roaming player. He aims very well, and I think there's not a lot of people that can replace him like that. So have you changed anything in your game so that Majere will fit in your team?
Well, Major is really supporting us with the communication and the team play, because he has a very good vision of the game. He could be in a leading game maybe or something like that. He's really a good, and so it's not about his skill. I know he's good, but it's really his vision, his communication, so you can play with him. He's more team play for the team, so it's better for us. We lost skill, so we tried to add more team play and maybe less skill, because you can't just win with 5 pure skills players anymore. So, and what was the next question?
The first question was how did you get together with Majere? Was it a normal situation? Did you already know each other, or was there something else going on?
No, it was okay with Major. We just followed him one day after Scream left, and he said okay, so we started really soon with him.
And then I think, despite the fact that you have really good results, you did really well in the EMS, you're doing good in other online tournaments, but I think the bulk of the talk is about Ostriker and how he supposedly doesn't fit in the team, all this jazz. And I mean, I don't want to get into that personally, but I just want to say the criticism that you get, do you read any of that? What do you think about it? Does it impact your mentality as a team at all, or you just shake it off like it's nothing?
No, really, we don't care about every comment on Ostriker, because we are still keeping him since September, and so if we are with him, it's not because, sorry. If we are still with him, it's because we know he can learn us again more things. So we just don't care about his level. I think he's really good, but he's good when the team spirit is good, and when the communication is good, the team play is good. So he have just to focus on the game, and it's very more easier for him. And for example, here it was a really big difference between our practice on internet. We don't know why, and we got 3 caller, Ostriker, MSAZ, and Major. So it was really too confusing in our head and too many communication, and so he was really angry about this, and so he could not focus on his game, and so I don't blame him for that, because I'm not in his position, and for me, I try to call sometimes, not all the run like him. So I'm more easier focus on my aim, you know. And he can do that, so I don't blame him. It's the team. There is a problem in the team, not a problem from him.
I think that's a really nice and thorough answer. I think that'll remove a lot of the criticism and a lot of the, I think, mistakes that people are making about the roles inside the team. And I think it's interesting that you touched that you're actually playing with 3 1.6ers now, and I know that you used to switch a lot between CSS and 1.6. I want to know your personal preference. Do you like it more with the 1.6ers now that there's a mix? Or did you prefer your CSS teammates? And what's the difference in game style? Is it more organized now than it used to be in CSS?
Well, at first, when I just started CSGO, I didn't really like it because I was also at Seattle for the first event for CSGO, and so the game was really shit, really. And yeah, it was hard to go on this game, to be honest. But you know, the fact is, I think for everyone, we just choose the game. Okay, no problem. It's a Counter-Strike. We don't take care. But look at the scene now, and look at the money. Look at the events. Look at what can we do if we just don't care about our past game. And I think that finally all teams did that, and I think it's a really good thing.
And I want to, before I start talking about what you thought about this event in itself, I want to ask one last thing. You're really well known for having an outspoken opinion about the difference between online and LAN, and I think you're one of the players that always outperforms himself at LAN. You always are on the top of the scoreboards, you're always doing the clutches. And you said back in CSS, it's a totally different game and I know how to play on LAN. Was it difficult for you to transfer that skill set into CSGO? And what do you think are the biggest differences between playing online and LAN at CSGO right now?
So first I will start about the difference between LAN and internet. The real difference is your team plan and your communication. Because when you are on internet, you are at house, so you don't have the pressure, so the communication is no problem. You don't have to ask always some information on the game or whatever. And on LAN, everyone wants to win, so everyone try to call this, to say this, to do this, and so finally it's just a piece of shit, and we can play like this. So I think there is a major problem at LAN. And what was the question?
How did you find it personally? Is there any difference going from CSS LAN into CSGO LAN or not?
Well, not. I don't think so, because my first LAN was Epsilon 9, and I had a really decent level. So no, after I just had one LAN which I failed. It was a qualification for the SWC in France. I was really bad, but I was fucking sick. So yeah, and also you can hear me. I'm still sick, but at the SWC it was better.
That's unfortunate. So the final question, not about the game. I just want to know about the atmosphere, the organization. How did you enjoy this LAN in comparison to what you have attended before, and on what points can we improve, if any?
To be honest, everything is cool. You have the time, you have computers, monitors, good quality. So now really it's fine.
I want to thank you for the interview, even though obviously emotionally you're going to be a little bit on the down right now. I totally appreciate that you did it, and I'm going to give the last words to you for fan shoutouts and sponsor shoutouts and all that.
Yeah, first thanks to Imaginary, especially Frank, who can send us over here, and I will thanks to, I don't know if I can thanks who people gonna follow us, because after our results, if people just don't trust anymore in us, I will agree with them, and in their place I will be maybe the same thing. So just see you next time. I don't know when it will be, and thanks for the interview.
I want to thank you again for the interview.